Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Willamette Falls and our fourth annual summer music service. My name is Greg Penner. I am a worship associate and your leader for today's service. It is so good to be together. One of the things I like about this service is that I don't get to hear the music until sound check today. I am very excited for you all to hear who is performing today. Our opening words are from James Weldon Johnson's The Gift to Sing. Sometimes the mist overhangs my path, and blackened clouds about me cling. But oh, I have a magic way to turn the gloom to cheerful day. I softly sing. And when the way grows darker still, shadowed by sorrow's somber wing, with glad defiance in my throat, I pierce the darkness with a note and sing and sing. I brood not over the broken past, nor dread whatever time may bring. No nights are dark, no days are long, while in my heart there swells a song, and I can sing. Come, let us worship together. Brooke Sherlie is going to lead our opening hymn, and then she'll do her reflection. It's a hymn, so you all can sing along. The words will be on the screen behind us. So please rise in body or spirit and join us. This is Magic Penny.
Love is something when you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something when you give it away, you'll end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold on tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it and you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor. Love is something when you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something when you give it away, you'll end up having more. Love is money's dandy, oh my goodness, money's dandy and we like to use it, but love is better if you don't refuse it. It's a treasure and you'll never lose it unless you lock up your door. Love is something when you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something when you give it away, you'll end up having more. So let's go dancing till the break of day. If there's a piper we can pay, 'cause love is something when you give it away, you'll end up having more. Love is something when you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something when you give it away, you'll end up having more.
Thank you. I probably was supposed to do a reflection about what music means to me, but it's sort of like saying, what does air mean to me? So I grew up in a very musical household. And if you Google the language of music, you'll get a zillion things. And music is a language, but something that really recently has started to dawn on me, it's that there's a whole language around music. I got that notion when this blank expression goes over my husband's face, when me and the kids start rattling on about music. There's so many good words like, well, there's, quarter notes and measures and hemiolas and schmorzando. So, you can't beat it. During the pandemic, I started studying Chinese for no other reason that I was really involved in this fantastic Chinese drama. The male lead was, I just started on Duolingo studying Chinese, and it was going pretty good. I mean, I was pretty good at it. And then my husband pointed out, he says, you know, you're already bilingual. This is just another language, so no wonder. I'm like, good point, you know? And I took French in high school. I don't know how much further I have to go to be a polyglot, but if you include the music language. But anyway, I would just encourage anyone, this is more a pitch, I guess, encourage anyone to start learning a little more about music if you don't know already. So many people do. But if it's just baffling, they have music on Duolingo. They teach you the basics. And I think it's very rewarding. Yeah, that's about all I wanted to say. But yeah, give it a try.
New York-born artist Jean-Michel Basquiat wrote, "Art is how we decorate space. Music is how we decorate time." Now we're going to hear from Louisa Gonyou. She's got a reflection for us, and then she will take us into the offertory.
Hi, my name is Louisa, and I'm a Freddie Mercury fan, in case you didn't know. So let's have a laugh over that, huh? Surprise! I've heard Queen music for years, but didn't know about Freddie. When I saw the movie about his life, I thought, he looks like an interesting character. I looked him up on YouTube. I listened to every song. I watched documentaries. I listened to interviews. I watched videos. I read books. I might know everything there is to know about Freddie and Queen. Early in their career, their music was described as too contrived and a bucket of urine. Yeah, and much more was said about the group and Freddie. But that didn't stop Queen from writing more music, making more albums, and performing more concerts. They were together for more than 20 years when Freddie died. All 4 members of Queen wrote #1 hit records. They don't fit into any genre. They are musicians first and foremost. Some of the most beautiful songs have never been heard by most of you. Freddie also made an album with a famous Spanish opera singer in 1988 when that was not common. They became great friends and loved each other dearly. I love most of Queen's music, but one of the songs that I really love is called The Miracle from the album of the same name. It was released in 1989, 2 years after Freddie was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. Although the song is credited to Queen, Freddie actually wrote the words and music with the help of John Deacon. Freddie wrote these words even though he was faced with death in the near future. He was always looking forward and was described as shy, kind, generous, and a funny guy. The group's sense of humor shows in the video, but the most important of all the characteristics I love about Freddie and Queen is joy. Freddie exudes joy when he's singing and playing the piano or guitar. And I think joy is a valuable part of one's personality because when you feel joy, you can't help but share it with others. And that makes lots of fun. That makes for lots of fun and smiles. Some of the words to this song are, every drop of rain that falls in the Sahara Desert says it all. It's a miracle. All God's creations, great and small, the Golden Gate and the Taj Mahal, that's a miracle. Test tube babies being born, mothers, fathers dead and gone. We're having a miracle on earth. Mother Nature does it all for us. The one thing we're all waiting for is peace on earth and an end to war. It's a miracle we need. If every leaf on every tree could tell a story, that would be a miracle. If every child on every street had clothes to wear and food to eat, that's a miracle. If all God's people could be free to live in perfect harmony, it's a miracle. Open hearts and surgery, Sunday mornings with a cup of tea. Superpowers always fighting, Mona Lisa just keeps on smiling.
Our next reflection is from Jesse Jayhawk. Do you want to sing first or play first?
I'll reflect first. Yeah. Got to make sure that I get close enough to the microphone so you can hear me. I know that a lot of us in this congregation have lost people over the past year, and this song that I'm about to play is about how the people that we know and love and care for and interact with change us. And it was taught to me by my dead friend, Coda. So Coda was the first modern hobo that I ever met. They were kicked out of their house at 15 and traveled the country playing music, busking, hopping trains, hitchhiking, going to protests. They participated in the Ferguson uprising and helped out a lot with Standing Rock and other water protection efforts. They were part of Occupy ICE here in 2016. And they learned this song that I'm about to play from another friend from New Orleans named Lullaby. And they taught it to me at the leftist bar here in Portland, the Workers' Tap, at 1 a.m. after the bar had closed, when we were both desperately trying to sober up, and I was mishearing the chords that they were saying, trying to play along on the slightly broken little pump organ that the bar had in the back. And I really appreciate that bartender for putting up with our nonsense that night. So I'm going to commit a small, don't get scared, a small act of necromancy with all of you, and invite you to bring a little bit of the spirit of that night into the room with us and sing the chorus of this song along with me. And the chorus is just, it's worn on my body. You repeat that 7 times and then end with, you'll always be here with me. Okay? You'll catch on, I promise. When I met you, I was drowning in a bottle so down and low. I poured out my whiskey when your love made my cup overflow. Your pointed fingertips are needles dipped in ink on my skin, and they keep me protected. Now it's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. It's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. Now it's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. It's worn on my body, you'll always be here with me. Oh, we got caught up in the stories that jealous people spin. We cornered each other like cobwebs in the attic we lived in. Your curled hair grew thin. My back got sore from the stress and the cigarettes, till we packed our bags and fled. Now it's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. Now it's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. Now it's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. It's worn on my body, you'll always be here with me. I gave you a haircut and your face looked weird for a week. And you left a mark on my skin with your crooked teeth. My fingers have fretted your songs till calluses grew. I still catch myself talking the way you do. Now it's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. Now it's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. Now it's worn on my body, it's worn on my body. It's worn on my body, you'll always be here with me. It's worn on my body, you'll always be here with me.
Kurt Vonnegut wrote, "If I should ever die, God forbid, let this be my epitaph." The only proof he needed for the existence of God was music. Rachel Shubin will provide our next reflection.
When I was young, I was a bit of a weirdo. I was kind of bookish, and I went to a Star Trek convention so I could see William Shatner in the 80s, when that was more social suicide than nerd cred. I was often lonely. While I was generally a happy child, happiness was also felt like an expectation or an ideal, and I didn't often feel like there was a lot of space for other emotions like confusion or sorrow or grief or even stillness. The loophole for that was music, specifically singing. And I don't ever remember not singing. When I was young and we would go on road trips, my dad would teach us rounds in the car. There was only 4 of us, so there's nowhere to hide if you mess up. But I got used to singing with other people. I sang in church the whole time growing up. I sang in the 6th grade talent show. I was in choir in high school, and I sang everything that I could feel or express as loud as I wanted to. There, it was celebrated and appreciated, so I could express all the grief or frustration or rage, as well as love and joy and celebration. So that full range was accessible to me through music and through singing. And I found that when I sang, I felt better. My anxiety about things that I couldn't control was less, and it made not only me feel better, but the people around me as well, very often. Science bears that out. Singing lowers your heart rate and your breath rate and your blood pressure. Singing releases endorphins and dopamine, which both make you physically feel better. It releases oxytocin, which is a binding hormone to the people around you and a love hormone. It increases physical endurance because it distracts the brain just enough to take the edge off of pain. So it also helps with sleep. It regulates the nervous system. It's nature's drug, and it's very effective with no side effects. I have sung my children to sleep. I sang my grandfather out of this life and into whatever comes next. But for me, none of those things were really the reason that I sang. The reason that I loved to sing was that, for me, singing became my constant comfort. It was my eternal friend that carried with me wherever I went, and that I could summon at will. It was always there. As long as I could breathe and had vocal cords, it was with me, and I could sing. This year has been really hard. There's been a lot of grief and confusion, frustration. The song that I'm about to sing has been one that's in my playlist for years now, but I learned how to sing it in the spring, and I was on a loop for just like months. So every time I sing it, it fills me with hope. And I hope that if you are at a place where you need that today, this gives that same to you.
Broken down, tired, living life on a merry-go-round. You can find fire, it's seed in you, so we gon' walk it out. Ooh, from dreams, we're gon' walk it out. Ooh.
I kind of had a hard time this year with the 4th of July and the 250th anniversary of our country. And so a thing that I did to make me feel better about that is I decided to learn Woody Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land. Guthrie wrote that in 1940. He'd been traveling around the country and he had been hearing Irving Berlin's God Bless America everywhere. And he felt that that song did not reflect the America that he knew. And so he wrote This Land Is Your Land in response to that, to reflect the distribution of land and wealth that he experienced growing up in Oklahoma and that he saw in the country as he traveled. He recorded 3 verses, but he wrote 6. There's not clarity about why he didn't record them all. Could be as simple as a 45 at that time only had so much room on it. And so he chose the verses that were kind of the uplifting, painted the picture of the beautiful America that he saw as well. For our closing hymn today, we're going to do all 6 verses. And so we'll take me to the second to get ready here. But when we kick it off, I invite you all to rise in body or spirit and sing it as a celebration, sing it as a hope for our future. Here we go. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless highway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, I followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. As the sun was shining and I was strolling, and the wheat field waving and the dust cloud rolling, a voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. There was a big high wall there that tried to stop me. The sign was painted, said private property, but on the backside it didn't say nothing. This side was made for you and me. One bright sunny morning, in the shadow of the steeple, by the relief office, I see my people. As they stood there hungry, I stood there wondering if this land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I walk down that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Thank you all. Now, Laurel is going to do a reflection and then play us out.
When I was 22, I boarded a one-way flight to Germany with a large backpack and a violin. Most people thought either I'd be back within 3 months, maybe 3 years. I just received my bachelor's degree in violin performance from UVO in Eugene. I gave away a few belongings, and this was the fork in the road. Stay in Oregon, buy a car, get an apartment, or board the flight, start learning German, keep practicing, and find an opportunity to play music. At age 6, I begged for violin lessons. On my 7th birthday, I had my first lesson, a few blocks from here in Oregon City. My teacher was a rare blend of serious work and fun games. She had mile-high expectations and the discipline of a Japanese sensei. I loved it. Violin was my absolute passion, biggest struggle, loftiest goal, and only social life. Studying violin and playing professionally requires the dedication of an athlete. We're talking 4 hours of individual practice minimum each day. If I took a day off, I spent most of it thinking about how I should be practicing violin. I disliked practicing, but I loved rehearsals and performances and the tight musician network that came with it. Everyone knew everyone. We cheered for each other, gossiped, defended one another, competed against each other at competitions, and later for paid concert opportunities. Have you ever read Mozart in the Jungle? It's true. I was fawned over by those who appreciated hard-working young musicians. I was encouraged to go for it in Germany. I had dreams and some deep doubts. In Germany, months became years. I studied with a Russian-trained mentor, Frau Doron, who expected perfection and nothing less. I networked, found a few gigs. I landed a good job as a music teacher in a K-12 school, and I taught violin students after school. I played an orchestra tour through Argentina. I got hired on regularly by an orchestra that played in concert halls, recording studios, festivals, and ceremonies. Once we were chartered to Davos, Switzerland for a corporate party. Another time we recorded a CD featuring an Indonesian princess. We were hired for a gorgeous lakefront TV filming session with a singer for the German Bible channel. In 2012, we had a baby, and I stopped teaching violin lessons for 6 months. Not one student returned. They'd all found other teachers. I landed one paid performance. My husband waited with our infant backstage so that I could breastfeed her at intermission. We had another baby, and I was hired for a performance at a benefit concert for a boys' home for young Syrian refugees. A friend watched my tiny son backstage so that I could feed him through the rehearsal and subsequent concert. The refugee boys held and coddled my baby, making him laugh, cooing over him. While I was out on stage, I just thought, this is so hard. When I was in my 3rd pregnancy, I landed a job with a better orchestra. I was so nauseated during the morning rehearsals that I ended up telling the conductor that I was expecting. I looked extremely hungover. No colleague understood what it was like to have 2 little kids and a third on the way. Their hardest mornings were from late night parties after concerts, not from late night diaper changes or vomit cleanups or earaches. My 3rd baby was born, and I knew I wanted to quit. A stroke of luck came. Lockdown. It was the final nudge that I needed. Everything in the music industry was canceled. Everyone was out of work. I kept my focus ahead. I closed my teaching studio. I stopped playing. I took online classes with my toddler on my lap. A final exam was so much easier than a violin concert. It was great. I have a new passion. I love my new job. I get to see more of my family, work remotely, and I know that my choice was the right one. I keep the secret of my old career as best I can, but when the word gets out, sometimes I still pick up my fiddle and play. Thanks.